when she was hosting it, and it just wasn't the same when other people were hosting it. So recently this documentary came out talking about like what was going on with her life, and I actually only watched the very first episode, so everything that I'm talking about is like just kind of gonna talk about what happened and what, you know, what went on in the first episode a little bit, and just a lot of opinions. Please try not to judge me on my opinions, because I am saying straight away that I don't know everything. All I know is that I watched the talk show when it was on, you know, not every episode, but a lot of them, and I only again watched the first episode. I don't really know much else about her personal life, so I'm kind of only going based on what I learned in the first episode and like my opinions, and they may not be popular and I might be wrong about things, so you know, just take this video with a grain of salt, you know. So that's all I'm saying about that. Now before like I get into the actual episode, there's just something that I wanted to bring up right away. I really want your thoughts on this, because it's just like this feeling that I got, and I could be totally wrong. puts like a positive spin on her alcoholism. And like it's just like a denial for everything. Like she would cry and then she'd say, oh, I'm crying of joy, I'm crying but it's a good thing. I'm crying but I'm really happy, it's all okay. And then there was like a scene with her and her trainer. He was trying to work her out and she was very not willing to do anything, and she was very hard on him. He's like, can I do this? No. Well, she had these like big furry boots on and she wouldn't take them off. And then he asked her to like step up and she started yelling at him saying that she wouldn't, but she does have a lot of problems with her feet. So I don't know, like, is she really being nasty, or are they putting her in a situation where they're not catering to what her needs are? Because like she has like, chronic injury to her feet. They showed like video of what her feet look like. It's a mess. Like she can barely walk. She needs a wheelchair sometimes. So then this trainer was telling her to like jump up on this step thing. So like, were they doing that to trigger a reaction for the sake of the camera, or was that a genuine like training session? And now I'm sounding so paranoid, but I just don't really trust the media that much anymore. I really don't. And I'm not like a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but you just see like all of the shows like The Bachelor and all of these other like reality shows, they're not scripted, but the producers like plan things and encourage certain behaviors, and I don't know, it's just hard to trust, I know you guys can agree with me with that, because there's so much like misinformation and manipulation and editing for the sake of like selling a documentary. Like, I guess what I don't understand is like, why are they making this documentary of Wendy? She has been such an incredible host for so many years and is an amazing talent and really provided so many households with great entertainment and juice and gossip, and I don't know, she's just been such a great show for all of these years. To put out this documentary and see her like this, I don't know, it's heartbreaking. Like, again, I'm just going off the first episode, but I would like to see her, I don't know, like, maybe work through things a little bit better. I don't know if I'm explaining it right. Okay, so the next thing is that in May of 2022, the New York State court system appointed an independent guardian to manage Wendy's finances. And I want to know why. And I'm assuming that they go over that in the next episodes to come, so I'm looking forward to that. Because it seems like there's a lot of family. She's got a son, she's got like cousins and a nephew, at least getting interviewed. Like, there's people all around her that love her and support her, I think. So, or at least it appears that way, right? So why wouldn't like a trusted family member get control of her finances if she is not capable of doing so herself? It doesn't seem right, because she's saying that she doesn't have access to any of her own money, and that her son doesn't have any of her money. I mean, that's just like, if that's really true, that is so sick. Like, this woman worked so hard, rose to stardom, and made so much money. She deserves every cent of it. Like, what the hell is that about? Like, why is some independent person managing her finances? How is that okay? Or is she just like kind of saying she doesn't have access to her money because like she's not all there? Like, we'll find out, I guess, in the episodes to come which one it is. But I don't know, it just seems more like a crap show. Like, one second and kind of like vicious the next, but almost like in a childlike way, like not aggressive, just like a mad toddler, you know. And is this because of her mental health, or is this like the cost of fame and being like, you know, having everything handed to you and being treated a certain way and never being held accountable for anything you ever say or do? It's hard to know, but it's just a mess. And I mean, that's like really all I can say about the first episode. But I want to touch upon this one thing that just I think about a lot, and that's like fame. Because I feel like everybody out there, especially this younger generation, like seems to want fame. I mean, not everybody. I can't speak for everybody. But when you look on social media, everyone's trying to like build up this like, you know, Instagram account and like want to be famous for nothing. Everyone wants to be on the next reality show, or, you know, become an actor or a singer. But is it because you love acting and singing, or is it because you just want to be famous? And one of the interviews with Wendy Williams, she even said herself, I am in this because I want to be famous. I've wanted to be famous since I was 6 years old and would have it no other way. But like, think about that. Just think about like what fame is. Fame basically means that like everybody knows who you are, but they don't really know you, right? Because no one can really know you based on a TV show. You know, they know a part of you. You know, they know the talent part of you or what you're presenting. They don't really know you. So it's like, what benefit aside from money and, you know, a certain accommodations does fame really provide? Because if you look around, so many famous people, their mental health just crumbles, and the more famous they are, the worse it is. You're not really a happy person if you have an addiction and you're struggling with that, and you need, like, that's not healthy. That's not happy. Happiness is when you have true relationships with people that really know the real you, and it's a give and take. It's not one-sided. It's not like this, you know, feeding a narcissistic supply of everything you say is great and you can treat me like crap, but I'm going to be nice about it because you're famous. It's a give and take. It's real. It's a sense of peace. It's like, yes, having a roof over your head and food on your plate and those basic needs met, and then just a sense of like peace within you that you cannot get from the rest of the world. Fame is not happiness. It's not. Happiness is not like this state of euphoria that that so many of us are chasing. It's not that. Happiness is the ability to be okay when you're a little bit bored and just be like content. It is like an even keel, you know. I think people like strive for fame because they want this excitement and to be the center of attention, but there is a backlash to that. There is social media that's gonna attack everything you do and criticize everything you do and make fun of everything you do. And what people think fame is, in a way, like you actually get the opposite, because people want fame to, like, you know, fill in this like void or insecurity. They want fame for that constant, you know, excitement or whatever, or to have everyone just love you, but it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't. And I think people have like you know, unrealistic expectations of what that kind of life is. But anyway, I just think that if fame is your like sole like goal or mission in life, is to be loved and financial guardianship, because I think that is very strange. I mean, they barely touched upon it. As a matter of fact, in the end of the first episode, they finally interviewed her son, Kevin, and he was saying, like, there's a lot to unfold because he didn't understand why that the court appointed an independent financial guardian when she's got family that could do it. So that was really interesting hearing her own son say that. That's a good point. Like, why isn't he the guardian of our finances? That would make a lot more sense. So I'm hoping that they get more into that because that's an important piece of it. But again, it was very interesting. It definitely, it's so sad what's going on with her. My heart breaks. Like, I love Wendy. She definitely has something going on with the brain. I mean, maybe there's a little bit of early onset dementia from all the alcohol abuse or her immune disorder. Like, there's something going on up there, right? So, like, her nastiness, is it because, like, she's just been treated, so well all her life and never been held accountable, so she built up this, like, narcissistic kind of personality? Or is she, like, nasty and angry because of her mental health? Because that's very common if you're dealing with dementia or, like, these kind of disorders that, like, you get angry, and, she does have a lot going on, and I could see why she'd be a little bit angry at the world right now. It's been a rough run for her, and it's just really sad to see her this way. It breaks my heart, and it's like I have mixed feelings watching it because I'm very interested in her life, and I'm rooting for her. I hope that she can come around and get well, but she's in such denial. I don't see it, I don't see it. I don't see a good ending to her story, and gosh, I really hope that I'm wrong. But, look, I'm gonna watch the rest of the episodes. If you guys like this video, maybe I'll do a follow-up video once I'm done with, like, all the episodes. And just do a quick little discussion and put out my opinions. But yeah, let me know if you guys saw it too. Did you enjoy watching it? What are your thoughts? Do you think it's really sad?